So,
It's not one of those
But
alleys
if
where
I
you
may
drive
say,
your car forward.
if I may say one thing, ladies and gentlemen, this is a bad practice. Very, very, very bad, and it sets a very bad precedent. To go around selling the city properties just because we choose not to maintain them.
that's not,
No, I bet.
okay.
Listen. Like I said, this is and I had all intention to really go and drive by today. Like I said, I was very, very busy and I could not. And to vote on this without actually seeing it and without even seeing a safety study, this needs a comprehensive safety study. I'm sorry, I cannot vote on this. And if I vote on this tonight, and then 6 months later, how many years later, because of this vote that we take tonight, and there is a fire, and fire engines need to get in, and they get retarded by a few minutes or whatever because they need to get a bulldozer to come by, I cannot vote on this. I mean, that would be irresponsible of me, not without seeing a safety study. If it's, I mean, behind my building, we have the same condition. Guess what? If it's not cleaned up, either one of us get a citation and we get it cleaned up.
Well, if you allow me,
So
Mr. Mayor.
whichever way it is, we have to be responsible enough to just not to. If we have to clean them up, let's clean them up.
No, well,
And we get these phone calls every day. And you've gotten the pictures that I've sent you. In the past, I used to send them to the director, but I realized that at the end of the day, you are responsible. When I get those calls for those alleyways, and they do look bad, and we have all these different departments, the people are just sitting here. I don't know what they're doing. Why is it that we are unable to clean those alleyways, the ones we are supposedly responsible for?
so let me clarify one thing that you said. Per the code, we are not responsible.
Well,
for
cite
cleaning-
those residents.
We do.
Make them pay those citations.
Well, we do, and if you recall, some months back in your district, Councilman, because of the overgrown status of some of these alleys, and some of them do have the water meter in the rear, we put out an initiative and went and cleaned a bunch of these alleys, or cleared a bunch of the alleys. And with that, we gave every resident that were adjacent to those alleys notice that we were doing this one time clearing, and from that point and beyond, they would be responsible for maintaining their alleys. The applicant here, whether he has the area or not, is still responsible
Yeah.
for the maintenance of
For me,
of this alleyway.
it's a safety issue
Yeah.
for me.
Let me ask you a question, Mr. Manager. Clearly, I know administration, everybody's on board with this. I'm trying to figure out what is the difference between his and my alleyway, or the alleyway that I'm used to, because there's a special thing, or what's going on?
Well, and you go to the different alleys, there's different things in all the different alleys. This one in particular, if you go down the street, it dead ends
It's okay.
into the
I have
church,
those.
to the church property. And I think the adjacent neighbor already has a fence that they've already erected out into the area, or a few of them on this alley. So in our discussions with the attorney and looking at this, do we now, if we deny this, do we now go to all of these other property owners and say, please remove your fence, even though it's just protecting your backyard, but yes, you still are responsible for maintaining your portion of this area?
But
So-
that's what you tell the people over there, that they are responsible for their backyard. Most of them have fences. So I'm still lost. Okay, so his is in the dead end. So if we do this tonight, which I don't have any problem, which I'm against,
not
if
a
she's
dead
okay with it, it's not good. But do we encourage the other folks to come in and do the same? And That's what I'm trying to get
I
at.
think the point the manager was trying to get to is that some have already started doing it. They've been taking in the alleyways without
With
going
permit?
through,
No,
without
no,
going
no.
through the process. He's following the requirements that your code allows
What do
him
you
to
mean they
follow.
taking it without going through it? What does
They've
that mean?
actually put fences up or they've
Without
extended the
permit.
rear of their properties.
Without
Correct.
permit.
Correct. If you look
Well,
at
Where's
the
they
code
record
illegally,
flat,
yeah.
and it's been years.
Oh.
So, and it's a citywide problem. It's really not
Kevin was
just
the
this
mayor.
alleyway. There's a
I have a
citywide.
question.
I wouldn't say
with
that on the
takings, so-
mic if I were you.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
not good.
I wouldn't divulge that here
Councilman Bieneme?
It's on
For
the
the-
left.
If I may, Mr.
because
Mayor,
it's not.
Uh-huh.
we did not know these other properties had already taken ownership of these alleyways. When the gentleman came in and asked for this,
This is
when the
bad.
staff went out to view the area and noticed other people had already took ownership.
Without
At-
permit.
Without permits.
Where's code?
At that point, we did say we're gonna need to talk to code or do something about it.
Then do
What you
something
mean
about
we're
it.
gonna do?
That's, I mean, we're gonna have to cite them for it.
Yes.
Or, but now you're talking about going, telling probably 10 residents, 15 residents, you gotta rip out your gates right now.
But when you go in
and
my
whatever,
district and you
yes.
cite people for a
I
swear by
I agree with you. I
do
agree.
that.
I agree 100% with
Okay,
you,
why
sir.
not just go in and send a citation to those people? What are you
So,
talking about?
all
You
right.
have a double standards based on the area.
No, sir.
You have people that buy swell and they look good and you
Okay.
cite them.
Mr. Arthur, I know we've been out there because we had one situation. I'm sorry, Councilman. We
I
had
was
that
just-
situation.
okay,
Go ahead. No,
go
no, go ahead. And I'll
I was
finish.
discussing the price. Why you said it at 90%?
Well, again, the price is an issue for the council to direct me to go, if you want me to go and negotiate a price other than the minimum price, we can go and do
Can we
that.
table the item until the next agenda? Then
Yeah, I'd
we
like
can
to go
address
see the
all-
property.
It
all
is-
them.
It is at your,
I would love to go see
Your
the
discretion.
property, but I have a question for you. So in my area that you have gone, who's taking our alleyways? That
don't know
hasn't
where you
happened.
live.
No, you know,
Just
because
have him
I've been
bring
taking.
your list next
No,
meeting.
I
That
went
would
out
be
there
good.
with Arthur several times. I haven't seen it yet. So,
Nobody's taking the alleys on the west
Okay.
side of the city. Those alleys
okay,
are
just want to get
passable
that on the
alleys
record.
that you can go through, completely through.
and someone-
Some of them, but they
and
been
we
cleaning.
sold them.
Well, the city, we
The
went
city
through
been
and
doing a
cleaned
good
them all.
job.
Yes, we did what we
So
were
y'all
supposed to
doing
do.
okay? Where's Public
Yes.
Works?
Can I ask one last question on that item? When was this appraisal done?
Let me check the date. In June 2017,
June 2017?
Correct.
Who paid for it?
the applicant.
Hmm?
Part of the fees that
The
the
applicant
applicant
paid for
pays. Yes.
Okay.
Can we, gonna table it?
I have a motion made by Councilman Bieneme to table this item to the next council meeting, and that motion was I thought it was seconded by Desiree, but do I have a
Yes.
sec?
No?
Oh, yeah,
Second?
you can.
I'll
okay.
second it.
Yeah, I thought you said second,
Well,
sorry.
table it
Yeah.
pending what?
Next side,
To
for the
go
next
look,
one.
I want to go see it.
Yeah, I want to go see it too.
And the price also.
So we're gonna table it to the next council meeting, is that okay? And I have a motion made by Councilman Bieneme, that's seconded by, Councilman Desiree. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item passes with a 5-0 vote. This item is hereby tabled. Tab I, appointments to the various City of North Miami boards, commissions, and committees. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with the mayor. The mayor would like to reappoint the following individuals to the particular boards.
Where's my sheet?
Advisory Committee on the Disabled, the mayor would like to reappoint Fonsti Pierre Michel. On the Affordable Housing Advisory Committee, the mayor would like to reappoint Patrick Mayon, Patrick Profit, Fonzie Pierre Michel. On the Business Development Board, it was dissolved based on the recent LDRs, so the Business Development Board has hereby been dissolved, according to my notes here. On the Charter Board, the mayor would like to reappoint Michael McDermott. On the Community Relations Board, the mayor would like to reappoint Franz Nicholas. On the Disaster Preparedness Committee, the mayor would like to reappoint Mark Girdy. On the Health Facilities Authority, the mayor would like to reappoint Serena White. On the Library Board, the mayor would like to reappoint Marcela Gutierrez. On the Nuisance Abatement Board, the mayor would like to reappoint Cheryl Sojourn. On the Park and Recreation Commission, the mayor would like to reappoint Richard Cumberland and Vanessa Pierre. On the Planning Commission, the mayor would like to reappoint Michael McDermott. On the Planning Commission, the mayor would like to reappoint Michael McDermott. On the Personnel Board, the mayor would like to appoint Patrick Prophet and reappoint Lumana Joseph. And on the Board of Adjustment, the mayor would like
No, I
to.
think Lumana was appointed by councilman. No? Hmm? Me? Okay.
I appoint her on the personnel board.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if there's.
She's your reappointment.
Yeah, okay.
The Board of Adjustment, the mayor would like to reappoint Mary Irvin, and as an alternate on the Board of Adjustment, the mayor would like to appoint Ivan Pare. And that is the motion, Para. And that's the alternative. That's what I have here. Am I wrong? Or?
Where's the,
Okay. So Mayor,
After there is a,
so at this time, the mayor is not making an appointment to the Board of Adjustment.
no.
Okay, so disregard that. The alternative, Ivan Pare, is that correct? Or was that the appointment? That's the appointment? Okay, I'm sorry. So the mayor would like to appoint Ivan Pare to the Board of Adjustment. All right.
Can you just leave it blank for me for now? 'Cause
Okay, so at
let
this
me-
time, there's no appointment made
Mm.
on the Board of Adjustment. So Mayor, what I just said, with the exception of the Board of Adjustment, no appointments there. Do I
Yeah.
have a motion to approve these appointments?
So moved.
May I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion made by Vice Mayor Galvin to approve the Mayor Joseph's appointments. That motion was seconded by Councilwoman Keys. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item passes with a 5-0 vote. Moving on to Vice Mayor Galvin. You don't have a lot of appointments because your appointments expire with your term, but there was just 2-3 that was kind of left out. The Business Development Board, if I'm not mistaken, that board was dissolved, so you're not going to make any reappointments there. And I noticed that there was an appointment needed here. Okay. On the Downtown Action Plan Advisory Committee, DPAC, Councilman Galvin would like to reappoint Clark Reynolds to that particular board. And that's his only appointment. All the other appointments will expire in 2019. So do I have a motion to approve Scott Galvin's?
So move.
I have a motion made by by Mayor Joseph to approve Scott Galvin, Vice Mayor Galvin's appointment. That motion was seconded by Vice Mayor Galvin. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item passed with a 5-0 vote.
Thank you, Councilman.
Councilwoman Keys. Councilwoman Keys would like to make the following appointments to the Advisory Committee on the Disabled. Councilwoman Keys would like to appoint Marie Samuels and would like to reappoint Douglas Highmarsh. On the Board of Adjustment, Councilwoman Keys would like to reappoint. You only get one appointment to the Board of Adjustment, but we have two here. So Councilwoman Keys, you know which one you want to appoint, or you want me to skip that?
Holly Cohn, we had appointed Rosalind Philippe last time at.
So you're going to appoint Holland Cohen this
Holly
time?
Cohn.
Okay, so the Board of Adjustment for Councilwoman Keys, her appointment will be Holly Cohen. On the Library Board, Councilwoman Keys would like to reappoint Inez Crouch. On the Nuisance Abatement Board, Councilwoman Keys would like to reappoint Kenneth Each. On the Park and Recreation Commission, Councilwoman would like to appoint Jason A. Nevis. On the Planning Commission, Councilwoman Keys would like to reappoint Bob Pashon. On the Quality Education Board, Councilwoman Keys would like to reappoint Soraya Trujillo. On the Youth Opportunity Board, Councilwoman Keys would like to appoint Benjamin Whittaker and Michael Holliday. On the Community Relations Board, Councilwoman Keys would like to reappoint Frank Mercado. And that is Councilwoman Keys' proposed appointments. Do I have a motion to approve?
So move.
Second.
I have a motion made by Mayor Smith Joseph to approve Councilwoman Key's appointments. That motion was seconded by Vice Mayor Galvin. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item passes with a 5-0 vote. Going on to Councilman BNMA.
For the okay, this, can you make a change on the Board of Adjustment?
You want to write it for me?
Laura Hill. The Board of Adjustment, Laura Hill.
On the Board of Adjustment, Councilman BNMA would like to appoint Laura Hill. On the Community Relations Board, Councilman BNMA would like to appoint Mary Irvin. On the Nuisance Abatement Board, Councilman BNMA would like to appoint Mary Irvin. On the Personnel Board, Councilman BNMA would like to reappoint Dr. Pastor Enoch Millian. Do I have a motion to approve Councilman BNMA's appointments?
So moved.
I have a motion made by Councilwoman Keys to approve tab M. May I have a second?
Second.
I have a second made by Councilman BNMA. All in favor?
Aye.
I have all opposed. Item passes with a 5-0 vote. Now, I do have some appointments from the Office of the City Manager. The City Manager have made some appointments to the Floodplain Management Committee, which is his right pursuant to the North Miami Ordinance. Councilman, City Manager Larry Springs would like to appoint Keith Hall to the North Miami Chambers of Commerce Committee. He would like to appoint Bob Pashone to the Keystone Homeowners Association.
No. Just for clarification, those entities have an appointment to
The
the
flood-
floodplain committee.
Okay.
So as an appointment, we're just bringing forth the appointments from those groups.
So I just need to read their names, not the
Yes.
groups they're part of.
Yes.
Let me repeat that. Okay,
Well,
so,
you should put the group they're from and their name, because that's where they're coming
okay,
from.
so keep doing what I'm doing. Okay, so from the North Miami Chambers of Commerce, Mr. Springs would like to appoint Keith Hall to the Floodplain Management Committee. From the Keystone Homeowners Association, Mr. Springs would like to appoint Bob Pashone to the Floodplain Management Committee. Representing Central Homeowners Association, Mr. Spring would like to appoint Michael McDermott to the Floodplain Management Committee. And representing the staff members appointed by the city manager, I'm assuming from here, the city of North Miami, he would like to appoint Tanya Sojourn, Planning, Zoning, and Development Director, Stephen Pazzillo, Building Director, Commander Angelo Brinson, Emergency Manager and Commander in the North Miami Police Department, and Chucks Orcarica, Senior Civil Engineer of the City of North Miami. Those are the appointments. May I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
I have a motion made by Councilman Desmay to approve Mr. Springs' appointments. That motion was seconded by Vice Mayor Galvin. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item passes with a 5-0 vote. And that concludes tab I.
All right, Mr. Desulme. No appointment?
I don't know what he got. I don't know what he was reading.
So Mr. Councilman Dezume's office
So you
informed
have
me
to
that
do yours
he
next-
will
next
have
meeting.
his appointments for me by next council meeting.
I have one. right
Exactly.
here.
Okay, at this time, we come to the wonderful moment of Citizens Forum. Now, it's your time, your opportunity to be heard. 2 minutes per person, please.
Mayor?
Jay? No, Jay's was tabled. What, it was removed. Sir?
Can I speak?
Yeah. Name and address first.
Good evening. My name is Sheldon Solotov, and I live at the corner of 145th and Northeast 18th Avenue. My address is 1796 Northeast 145th Street. I live directly across from the North Miami Industrial Park. Originally, when this park was made, there was a wall erected and a nice swale area outside of it to protect the residential area from the industrial area. North Miami owns a lot right there by 18th Avenue, a rather large lot that was always kept empty, and it was a nice buffer zone between the residential area, which is really nice, and the industrial park. Well, now, lo and behold, the city of North Miami has leased this lot out to Audi. The swale area is a mess. It's all dirt from the trucks going over it. My own swale area, which I pay a lot of money from a lawn service to maintain, is a mess because the trucks driving it during the rain leave giant tread marks in the grass and make it really a mess. On top of that, there's noise at all hours, including the weekends. They have a total disregard for any type of rules and regulations North Miami might have as far as noise goes. I have called the police many times, which I hate to do because I know they're busy doing other important things. However, they get there, of course, an hour or two later. The incident has already been finished. There is no more noise, of course, and this noise happens Sunday at 7 o'clock in the morning, Saturday night at 8:30, clanging, banging, lifting up garbage, making really a horrible noise, trucks idling right outside my window, basically. So it boils down to, I have a grandchild who has to go to sleep at night for school. I literally have to keep my window shut, even in the winter, to avoid that noise. On top of that, there are multiple trucks that park in the middle of the street, since this little lot you guys have isn't large enough for them. They line up 2 or 3 trucks at a time. There's no flagmen. And these cars that come down 18th Avenue literally have to dodge all around these trucks while kids are walking up and down 18th Avenue to go to Natural Bridge Elementary School. It's
So that's Public Works, or who?
Are you asking me?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, because it needs to be addressed, and I need to know which department.
No, it would be, we'd probably have to deal with code enforcement on their use a lot. That is and I'd have to look at the lease agreement. That was the lease that we entered in with Audi, so I'll take a look at it.
Okay. On top of it, I pick up garbage constantly on my property that I know is Audi's. Actually, I was saving it in a cardboard box for a while to bring it in here and show you guys that it's clearly Audi's garbage. And I thought, well, this is getting to be ridiculous already, and I threw it out.
Yeah, Mr. Manager, I would recommend that you do put out time and meet with Mr. I'm sorry, I didn't get your last name.
Solotov.
Mr. Solotov, please address that issue and swiftly so that it can be taken care of.
In closing, I just want to say that, they did open up a new Audi dealership on Biscayne Boulevard, which seems to have plenty of room for them to maneuver and do whatever they need to do. And I had hoped that when they opened up, this would be done, and I waited till this time to say something about it because I hoped it would disappear.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah, the police chief is right here waiting for you to.
And Chief, let me know the result too, please, Chief. Thank you.
Good evening, Council, Mayor. My name is Robert Husted. I live at 1150 Northeast 123rd Street. And I would like to thank the gentleman who just spoke because he echoes a lot of my concerns for my neighborhood. And I have some questions. I was informed that the area of Northeast 13th Avenue to Northeast 12th Court, from 123rd Street down to the Public Works, has just been recently, through the LDRs, converted to, and actually renamed industrial. I was informed that it was zoned industrial in 2008. I would like to see it. Interestingly enough, I sat in on a lot of those LDR meetings, and I sat in on the comp plan meetings, and I'm referring to this map of this year, and I'm referring to the map of this year, which shows that particular parcel as R2. Now, if I'm going to be sitting on a board or working with the city trying to develop a comprehensive plan that's going to make our city wonderful and beautiful, shouldn't we know about what's going on in our neighborhood? This is part of transparency. I wasn't at the last meeting, neither were you, Mr. Mayor. There's a lot of people who live in the neighborhood who are not informed. It directly impacts our values in putting an industrial zone in a residential area with no buffer, none. And I just think it's poor planning. I think it's really poor planning. And I hope you hear my voice, and I hope you do something about buffering the industrial zones from low-density residential. It's really important, and it can be done, and it could be a win-win situation. But there again, you have industries such as Spot Masters, which took us 3 years to get out of there. 3 years. And then you go ahead and do it industrial again. It's a shame. Thank you.
Citizen Forum is still open.
Yes. My thing is about my water bill.
Name and address,
Good.
please.
My name is Dolores Nemhard, and I live at 1273 Northeast 127th Street. I've been there since 1988. and Terry Bailey, he lived right next to me. We all been there. My water bill has been like reading on the. I got a bill in December. I got a bill in February. I got a bill in April, and I got a bill in July 30th. And you know, for the first time in my life, I had to live without water, flushing my toilet. My grandkids can bathe. And I think I don't hold the money. They keep on putting back my old bill and my bill. Even they turn off my water, and somebody from the office helped me. And when they send my bill, that's what they do. If you could look. Instead of the bill, this is the bill. After I paid, this is the bill. And see the dates. All my bills are backdated.
Okay.
Going back to the bill I paid already.
Okay.
It started in
Oh my God.
December 2015. I can't
Is this?
try to speak.
Ma'am, okay. Is this the first time you are addressing this issue, ma'am?
No.
No?
I've been to Miss Reyes. I've been to the supervisor a lot of times.
Okay.
Sorry. I've been and I begged them. My water bill, even though I'm paying my bill, my son have a water bill for $1,088, and I have a water bill for $1,088, and
I know you
I don't know what to do. I went to the legal aid. I tried to get somebody to help me. I went to the courthouse. I was all over the place. I couldn't eat for 2 days. For 2 days, I have no water. I have my toilet can't flush. And I never owed anybody in my life. I tried my best. I used to pay my bill excess. And
Miss Man, we'll.
Yeah, they're gonna address it.
I used to pay my bill when I was working. I used to pay extra money on my bill because sometimes I'm not noticing, and I would send the kids to cover the bill because I always want my bill to be covered.
Okay, ma'am, the bill is in the right hand now. And is this the same case we had to deal with last week? No?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yes.
let the manager. This is the manager. So
Is that the city manager?
yeah, this is the city manager. But this issue has been addressed over and over before.
No, it hasn't.
And it is an administrative problem. We are the lawmakers. We are the policy makers. So you cannot take care of this bill with us. So the city manager, along with the director of the department who have been dealing with you, please
is the director
give them the opportunity to cure it, not us.
Okay, Mr. City Manager, can I ask you a question?
Anybody wants to talk for Citizen Forum? Still open? Citizen Forum is still open.
Good evening. My name's Tasha Fotopoulos, and I live on Northeast 18th and 145th. I have a daughter that's going to Natural Bridge School. My daughter and I walk to school every morning, and as we walk a short distance from our house to the school, we see thousands of pieces of trash. Enough trash to fill up 10 or more trash bags. I want my child to understand the impact that it has on our planet, the planet we're responsible for, and I'm sure that many other parents would agree. It starts with our children, teaching them right from wrong, good and bad, basic life skills that make us decent human beings. And understanding that polluting our planet with trash is one of them. That being said, I would like to get parents, schools, and the community involved in cleaning up the streets.
Does she want to say something too?
She did want to say something. What would you like to say?
I would like to say that it's not good for the people to have to throw trash on the floor. I would want one day maybe we can. Every day my mom walks me to school, there's this big river and it's full of trash, and there's pelicans near it, and they're eating that trash, and they're being harmed very bad by it.
Yes.
Thank you.
We think
And-
maybe getting a group together once a week, I would volunteer my time. She would be willing to help. Getting people together to do something about this because we hate to see it.
Thank you very much. And this will not be taken lightly. I think we should address the issue and deal with it accordingly.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Mhm.
Hello, everybody. My name is Marisol Medina. I'm residential at 1270 Northeast 123rd Street. I guess I'm along with Robert and many of my neighbors. We did think that that area next to 13th Avenue was going to be something like maybe a park or something more elegant. And I talked to a couple of the neighbors, had no idea that this was even happening. Someone who's right in the midst of it. So for them not to know that their property is being converted from residential into industrial is rather large. If this is going to continue this way, then I really would like if we could work together to make something more elegant in between those spaces, like a buffer zone, a bioswale, a huge space to differentiate us from them, and that the sound, maybe some regulations that they can't pass just because they're industrial and we have very little say in it. Pretty much that, you guys. I really don't want to continue struggling in my beautiful neighborhood, which we took over and made fabulous. So, thank you.
Hi, everybody. My name is Ileana Albarran, and I live at 849 Northeast 121st Street. And I also wanted to bring up the issue of a buffer zone between the industrial and the residential, and just have it be integrated into the downtown in a way that is a little bit more conducive to protecting the nice, calm residential feel. And yeah, so I don't know if it's possible to work to put an item on the agenda to create that buffer zone so that the residents feel protected with their property values. So I don't know what the process would be, if one of you guys could inform us on that.
If I might, Mr. Mayor, I don't want to let pregnant silence just sit here. I don't know who owns the land in question, but whomever owns it would have authority over what happens to it. So if it's privately owned, the city can't take it and turn it into
No.
a
I'm
buffer
talking
zone.
about the transition between, I guess, 13th Avenue and 125th Street, the fact that that area that is now industrial or light industrial, if we can work on putting a buffer zone or having the
Rezoning it.
rezoning it. So an amendment to the land and development regulations so that we can protect that area. So what would be the process of
Your
going?
councilwoman would have to initiate that, I would go on a limb and say.
So would it be possible to maybe arrange a meeting where we can meet with the residents and see how it is that we can create a buffer zone in the land and development regulations or in the zoning between the light industrial and the residential on 13th Avenue, that area?
You could, it's a comprehend, I believe, you have to,
Would we be able to send an email with specifics on the things we'd like to see, the amendments we'd like to see done to the comprehensive plan, and present it to you so that you could put it up?
that was, I mean, that property was in the turns industrial, and it's a buffer. The property that you're speaking of goes from 13th Avenue through to 12th Place. So those parcels, those 8 lots, were turned industrial under the comprehensive plan in 2008, 2007.
We have some maps on that say that from
You have the
2000.
We have
from
to
20
we have to continue this conversation in some other venue or
Thank you.
platform, and please,
So
I
we'll
mean,
send-
let's like to your.
Okay, so we'll send some emails. Thank
yeah,
you.
Thank you very much.
Hector Medina, 1270 Northeast 124th Street. I wasn't going to talk, But Councilor Keys can talk about this issue because he owned the property, he owned 2 lots on that property. So she had to dismiss herself in all regards of this. She was the one who bought them, the 2 lots behind Spotmaster. And she did it after she promised that that area was going to be preserved as a commercial zone. So she broke her day, that's fine. I mean, that's what people do here in this city. But she cannot in any way whatsoever get involved with this. She owns property there.
Okay,
Good evening, everyone.
if
Mayor
anyone
Council.
wishes to speak, I would recommend that you please come forward so we don't waste any time. Please, anyone who wishes to speak in Citizens Forum, come to the front row or make a line, please. Thank you.
I live at 1140 Northeast 132. I'm in your district, Vice Mayor.
Scott is fine.
Scott.
And I didn't catch, what's your name?
Danielle Beauvais.
Oh, sure, Jen, yeah.
Yes, okay. I have a concern for the people who catch the bus at the corner of Northeast 12th Avenue and 132nd Street. That's like my corner. Now, I don't catch the bus because, I drive, but I see a lot of people when it's raining, there's no shelter there. And I remember you were very concerned about that in the past, and you had those installed in some areas. And I believe this is your district. So I'm here to ask you if you could please look into installing that shelter at that corner specifically, basically these corners on those streets. And it's raining, the people are sitting on the floor when it's hot. It's really.
Do you have a pencil handy?
I have one in my purse.
My cell phone number, please call me tomorrow. Cell phone number 305. So
Okay.
just 582-0710. 582-0710.
Charlie, thank you. Okay, let me
Now,
write
we
it
don't-
down. What is
we
it?
don't have 305.
Okay.
582.
Yes.
0710.
Okay.
It's actually the county that has to decide to install. They might let us pay for it.
Oh.
So recognize that I don't have a magic wand that I wave and go like
I've-
this. It's not. I like to think of myself as Cinderella or whatever. Whoever the character goes bah.
Okay.
We can start to work on it. If you don't have my email address, I'll give it to you.
No, I have your
tomorrow.
email because I get all your emails.
So email
But
me
the-
anytime you get something like this on your mind. Don't make yourself sit around here till all hours of the night. Shoot me an email. Anybody in this room will attest. I probably will respond within 3 minutes.
Okay.
So
All righty then.
call me tomorrow. We'll clear
Okay.
something up.
Thank you. Thank you
Right,
very much.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Citizen Forum is now closed.
Mayor,
And-
I'm sorry, I made a little mistake, kind of, sort of. I omitted a couple of names that I was supposed to read out. With yours, I did make a mistake, and you corrected me on. You did have one at-large appointment available, and I didn't read that out. That was the confusing part at the end. I'll take the fault, but you can blame the notes. So the mayor would like to appoint at-large, and that was the confusing part. He didn't say at-large, to the Board of Adjustment, Peggy Boulay, and that was the mayor's.
That's a reappointment.
That's the reappointment, right. And so let me just get that out the way. Do I have a motion? That was the Board of Adjustment. I'll get to you because I have yours here. That was the Board of Adjustment, the at-large appointment. So I have the motion that was originally made to approve the mayor's appointment was a motion made by Smith Joseph, and it was seconded by Vice Mayor Galvin, and it passed 5-0. Do you still make your motion, Mr. Joseph?
Yes.
Do you still second that motion, Mr. Galvin? Everyone still keep their 5-0 vote with that one additional addition? Because it was omitted last time. It was here on the paper. I didn't read it on the record. Okay, so she is reappointed as you have written here. And Councilman and Vice Mayor Keys, again, I made the same mistake with you because I'm sorry, Councilwoman Keys, it simply said the name and everyone have one appointment, but I take it, if you can't correct me, you wanted to make an at-large appointment.
Correct.
So Councilman Desiree did that. So he made an at-large appointment. I'm going to just read your appointments, Councilman Desiree. And the appointment was Councilman Desiree would like to appoint Board of Adjustment Woseline Phillip, which is an at-large appointment. Advisory Committee for the Disabled, Jalen Marti, and that is an at-large appointment. And the Community Relations Board, Jalen Marti, and that is an at-large appointment. Do I have a motion to approve Councilman Desime's appointments?
So moved.
I have a motion made by Vice Mayor Galvin to approve Councilman Desime's appointment. That motion was seconded by Councilman Desime. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item passes with a 5-0 vote. Now, with regards to the Board of Adjustment, alternate, Councilman Bieneme, which is an at-large appointment as an alternate Board of Adjustment member, would like to appoint Mary Irvin as an alternate to the Board of Adjustment. Now, Councilman Bieneme, I had it written here. That's just a name again that I omitted. Motion was made by Councilwoman Keys to approve Councilman Bieneme's appointments. That motion was seconded by Councilman Bieneme. Do everyone still keep their motion in the second with this additional name that was omitted before? And does everyone keep their vote? Because it was approved 5-0 vote. Do I still have 5-0 votes here? No one want to reject it? Okay, so again, we don't need a revote because it was written here. I just need to read the name on the record. So the name, Mary Irvin, is appointed on the Board of Adjustment as an alternate at-large appointment, and that appointment was made by Councilman Bieneme. Thank you for the floor, Mayor. We're good to go.
Thank you very much. Now we reach to the point of reports. If there is anyone with any reports, any council members.
Yeah, I would like to, I don't know if it was mentioned, but the opening night for the City of North Miami's Hispanic Heritage Month will be a opening reception on September 7th from 7 to 9 at Mocha, White Tropical Nights, and that will be in collaboration with the Copper Bridge Foundation at Mocha, and it's featuring an art exhibit of Copperfest featuring Familiar Faces opening. It is going to be a nice party, white attire, and it is free to North Miami residents and Mocha members.
Thank you.
Although I did support Councilman Bieneme's effort to remove Waste Pro as an item of discussion because it wasn't put on the agenda the correct way, I am absolutely sick to death of Waste Pro, and I intend to hold a town hall meeting in the coming days. I'm just trying to find the right date and location. I've been up here for a long time, and of course, complaints about garbage pickup do come along sometimes, though I rarely remember us ever getting one before we privatized garbage pickup. In the last 4 weeks, I don't know if Waste Pro has just totally left the city and is not even picking things up, but I'm getting daily complaints, not just about one house that's missed, not just about one street that's missed, but entire swaths of the city that they fail to pick up. And I'm tired of the same excuses of, well, the driver was sick or the truck was broke down. Waste Pro is not doing right by the city of North Miami. I'm tired of the shenanigans. I don't know how much longer we've got to put up with their shenanigans. But I will be holding a town hall meeting in the very near future, probably that first week of September after the Labor Day holiday, to let residents just come out, voice their concerns, and to let staff tell them maybe some little tricks of the trade of ways they could deal with, especially with bulk trash pickup, not putting out, stuff too early and not putting out too big of a pile. But staff, I am absolutely publicly now taking my tirade to the streets because Waste Pro trucks aren't there themselves. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. That's all I've got tonight.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Oh, wait. Was that for me or for Scott? None of those. I do have a question, but it's mainly for the city manager who's not here, who stepped. But what had happened here tonight, Mr. Mayor, is at its core of what we sit here for. This resident at no shape or form should have never dealt like this. And we do have a resolution, the manager and I believe the city attorney we're working on, and we hope we could get support from everyone up here regarding situation like this. I don't ever want to be up here to experience something like this ever again. I just think that we should have dealt with it a little bit differently, especially if this is something that's ongoing, whichever how we need to do it. I mean, I have folks who have come where I've personally called folks to see if they could help them with their water bill, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I hope, Mr. Deputy, the resolution, is it ready to go? It's my understanding.
I do believe the resolution is ready to go. It will be on the next agenda.
I hope so, and it's a resolution to a utility assistance program. We talked about it last year briefly, I know Councilwoman Keys had mentioned support for it, and everyone on the dais, just to help hearing that type of story at its core. This is bad. But I did have a specific issue with the manager. I guess now, because I do want to ask my issue directly to the manager, we'll just wait regarding, I'm sorry? I don't know where he is. Where is the manager? Is the manager
He's
around?
dealing with the lady. He's with the
Well,
lady.
that should have been dealt with, I mean, weeks ago, in my understanding. Left someone, but go ahead, Councilman Bien-Aimé. Hopefully he'll come back and I can ask him. You have no report?
Okay. Any report from the attorney?
No reports.
No reports. Clerk?
No reports, Mayor.
Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Thank you. Meeting is adjourned.
Okay.